tell me a story, if you can think of a story where an unlovable came to you and how you just watched the Lord work in their life and where they are today.
It's a really powerful question. Well, the first story that actually came to my mind, and again, kind of talking about love, is I had just started at Outreach. I've been with Transitional Youth for 11 years now, and so it was about 11 years ago, and there was this buzz in the air. One of the kids was missing. They didn't know if he'd overdosed. They didn't know if he'd been kidnapped or killed. I mean, those were the realities of the streets. And I remember being at our drop-in center, and this kid that was missing walked in, and there were several of the other youth that ran to this young man. I mean, like lightning speed, ran to him and grabbed hold of him and hugged him so tight. And I remember thinking, the first question on my mind was, have I been hugged that tight before? You know, just to see that instant, you know, connection with them, and really kind of thinking, what does love look like there? It's not that they're void of love. They're, you know, living through horrific circumstances together and having to fight for each other. Yeah. And so that was a lesson for me on love, for sure.
Wow. You have seen, I'm sure, lots of young people come in and where you've seen the blessing and the response of blessing in their life.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And I think for them to receive it, again, we don't get to choose. If God's called us to love, that's a mandate, you know, to love and to walk that out, and again, to have skin in the game and to hold them with unconditional high regard no matter what. And it's in that place, it's amazing when we talked about like the root of bitterness and how it doesn't just bind you, but it holds shame over the other person too. They're not free to really spread their wings and be free to be who they are if they're bound by someone else's bitterness, you know. If they can break free from that, amazing, but a lot of people can't. And so to offer an opportunity to young people and say, I'm going to love you and I'm going to stay in this with you, and I'm here no matter the choices that you make, holding you in unconditional high regard, the freedom that offers them to try and to try again. One of the stories that I love in the Bible is David and Goliath. And many people, whether they're part of the church or not, they know about David and Goliath, this little 12-year-old boy and this giant, right? But the reason I love that story is because before the giant ever came, there was a lion and a bear. David said, I'm going to take this giant down because God has given me the lion and the bear. Well, he was defending his father's sheep. Up comes a lion, he's able to kill it. Up comes a bear, he's able to kill it. And because he had those first experiences, he could take the giant down too. And I feel like loving these young people is giving them those opportunities where they can defeat the lion and the bear before they ever face the giant. So being patient with them and staying the course with them in that season where that lion could actually be getting their GED. That bear could be actually staying put in a house rather than running at every scary moment. Right. Putting their clothes in a chest or drawer, or making their bed in the morning. Those things we take for granted every day.
We do.
But for them, where they've never had a safe place to land, they've never had a secure family structure around them, that they couldn't be safe to put their clothes in a closet or a chest or drawer
because they would be stolen.
They'd be stolen, or they'd have to bolt in the middle of the night. And so again, those lions and bears, and I think that's part of loving someone, is staying the course with them and watching them take those strides and steps and encouraging them to keep getting up again.
Yeah. Wow. Very powerful stories.